The temple of the living God is not just a folklore or a little thing that is said. The skull that you have, when properly understood, is a temple. It is so full of potential power and glandular interest there that the best way that the ancients could show it was to build a pyramid and say that that is the skull of man, and then show him the difference between the Sphinx and the others that walk the life. Why is it you think that when Napoleon and the Grenadiers came out onto the Giza Plateau and they saw the Sphinx looking negroid in all of its glory, they went crazy and blew the nose off by sending 19 shot rounds into the nose and then coming back and climbing it and pickaxing out the nose, and now they act like they don't know what the Sphinx used to look like. Why they don't, I don't know. They drew pictures of it, and they saw what it looked like. It was a negroid-looking person looking outward, eastward. And it showed again that in front of this big pyramid, they put this skull and this animal. 3 of the secrets of this pyramid, and there's 7 secrets of the pyramid. 3 of them is that the head of the man on the Sphinx and the body of the animal simply shows that, if you notice, there's wings on the Sphinx, there's scales on the Sphinx, there was a tail on the Sphinx, there were claws and hooves. It showed that everything that moved, crawled, or flew on Earth was subjugated or was dominated by the chief creature of Earth, the Son of God, the man's head. But everything on that man's body of the Sphinx needs those other things to survive, until which time its consciousness rises enough and can outgrow them. It can eat fish. It can eat anything that moves and crawls, snails and everything else. It can breathe in air and live very well on that air, if you would. I appreciate that very much. And live on that air, if you would. It can do more things by adapting under different vibrations. It can consume everything on Earth and live on it, even to the herbs and the berries, if it goes up that far. Once this is understood, then you understand again that it was that the animal portion of man was located in what is called the primal urge, the lower chakra, the animal brain, which is located just below the navel and connected to one of the units of the spine. Now, what am I talking about, the animal brain? You've only got one brain. It's got its different lobes, its 2 hemispheres, and we all have studied it. That's not the only brain you have at all. What they say is wherever you have neurons, you have the capability of thinking and relaying energy. Neuron centers in the brain are connected to what they call glia cells. Glia cells are connected to what they call axons. Axons are connected to dendrite, and dendrite stems are like conjunction boxes, or what they want to call the junction boxes for electricity. They run from one neuron center to the other. All that simply means is you have a place, like a computer, that can think and process thoughts. Then it has a coaxial cable that gives it the energy. Depending on what kind of energy comes through there, the computer generates more energy. The neuron center can generate more thought. Then, based on how many programs you have in that neuron center, how many programs you have for the computer can be smarter or dumber. And then once it kicks in, it's joined, just like with the cable, to other computers or other neuron centers. So the whole key is this. The neuron, wherever it is found, is capable of generating or processing thought. That's all you have to know. And if you doubt me, go look up in your physiology books tonight, come out tomorrow, and we'll talk about it. If you understand and agree with me, let us move on. Anywhere you have a neuron that is linked to other neurons or to the spine or to nerve centers, that means that neuron can function. What is a neuron supposed to do? Generate and process thoughts, coming and going. You have a collection of neurons up and down your spine and in certain pockets throughout the body, one of which is what is called the solar plexus. And just a little bit below it, above the spleen and above the navel, you will have a neuron center. That, I claim, is your animal brain location. That is why in the Oriental philosophy, in the Yoruba philosophy, even amongst the ancient Zulus, concentration upon the solar plexus with energies coming in either from the moon or the sun will turn a person more like into an animal than before. You can act like an animal and still be human because you are an animal person. Most of your ideas of survival, hunger, fear, fighting come generated from that selection of neurons at the solar plexus. They do not come from that up here in the skull. In fact, you will find when you get really uptight, what did it say? My stomach got in knots. I couldn't talk. I just felt pain here, and I was all uptight. That is your animal brain talking, taking over, to fight or flight, to fear or love, to hate or to detest. These are all animal passions, and that's why they call them. These are the emotional hubs. They say that we use less than 1% of our brain. I sometimes even question that amount. The reason why we don't is because we are usually ruled by the animal body and animal brain, which has got so used to dominating man that now man is more animal in many cases than, what can I say, some of the animals. Some of the animals will not kill in the way man will now kill, or human will kill. Animals, in generally, will fight to a point where one gives up, turns belly up, and the animal growls, postures, and walks away. Man will blow you away. Human will blow you away now for no reason at all. We have become more animals, and therefore those sections of our neuron centers work better than the one up here. So much here, this thing up here has nothing to do. It's getting rusty. It gets a lot of mucus around it. Its ends burn out and won't fire correctly. You begin to really try to use it, you get a headache. You use it even more, you begin to get boils and breakouts because the energy has to drive out the pus and stuff that is coagulating the machinery. We don't use it. And there has been a lot of interest to stop us from using it, especially those of the sons of God and their offspring. Why? Because mankind and human was taught by mankind that if ever the sons of God would awaken to the power of using the upper brain power, they would become so devastating, so frighteningly auspicious, that everything on earth would tremble at the power of this latent god and giant now asleep.
The Meta Center, for over 60 years, has been a space where you can freely research, learn, and share with others about whatever may interest you. Free classes where many are learning about science, AI, engineering, metaphysics, wellness, and more. Here, you'll find many supplements for your well-being, such as monatomic gold powder, which was allegedly used by the pharaohs of ancient Egypt. We are also the largest herb supplier in Chicagoland, with over 70 organic wildcrafted herbs, mushrooms, roots, barks, berries, fruits, and leaves, which have been used for thousands of years for a variety of purposes. We thank you for your continued support. To learn more, visit us at metacenterchicago.com or give us a call at 708-668-4909. Until the next time that we speak, take care.